Hello. Hi. Oha. Good evening. Good morning. Selamat malam. Hello, hello. Finally, the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe is out. Cannot wait to see what endings are we gonna get today. So yeah, let's just start the game. I miss this game so much. Have you played Stanley Parable before? Yeah. Wait, can I adjust the volume? Okay. Hopefully. Yeah. Please adjust the light on the computer is barely visible. I like super bright. Or maybe here. Please enter the current time. Okay. I'm gonna go like 8 because my time right now is 8:03 p.m. Accessibility setting can be accessed from the main menu. Okay. Let's go.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
Yeah, I missed the
And although
narrator.
others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Was happy.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
Oh.
No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Yeah, we're finally moving. Parker. Uh-oh.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Wait,
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I want to check everything. What is new?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Is this still working? Can I still go there? Oh my god, I can. Is it gonna be the same if I jump down like the previous one? Maybe next time. Wait, what? It still sounds computer. Achievement, you cannot jump. What do you mean you cannot jump? I should be able to jump. Wait, now I can't. Oh, there you go. Turn off all of this. Is there something? No, not at all. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
He entered the door on his left. Left or right? Left or right? I'm gonna follow the narrator for this time and see if there's any different from the previous one or not.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve this tutorial? Oh. Using start to assure employee that everything is okay. Make sure your slide is photographing the header and show some people the text will ensure converting keyboard. Everyone is unique. You most of all. Oh. Slide. Start and slide. Oh no, this room.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ooh, but this one is tempting. What is this? I'm gonna follow the narrator first, just for this round. Ooh. Wait, what? Security bathroom? I've got the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. Say so. That's a lovely word. Say so. Nice toilet.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
2845. What if I keep making mistake?
2845.
842.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself, and Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
But... Two, eight, four, oh no, wait. 2, 8, 4, 5. What? Oh no, I cannot see. Oh, loading.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape! Oh! Can I escape? I'm gonna escape next time.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Yeah, this just this round. Let's follow the narrator. Be a good boy. Oh my god.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
Oh my god.
Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
That one is... fire. Which one is ours again? Our room is 2... I forgot. 247 or 427. Is it 247? 247 is down there. That one. Or 2 or 2 or 27 4 2 7. Oh yeah, I think it's 427 now.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay, let's follow first. Yeah, this room.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Oh.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Was it over?
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
That's so slow.
Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel.
Yeah, it's the same.
Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know.
But
It
better
was perhaps
quality.
the only thing worth knowing.
Let's
Stanley
go.
stepped through the open door.
Can I go back? Anyway.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation,
Guys, is
the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Happy. Achievement, beat the game. Nice, nice, nice. Time to mess up the game now.
All of his co-workers were gone.
I wanna
What could it
try
mean?
this one again.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
missed the
simply
song.
missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Ooh.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in?
Yay!
Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Well,
Then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other options so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Okay. I cannot click anything now. I think I remember like there should be a music in here. Do we wait? Are you gonna wait? I cannot walk around, it's only a square piece. Narrator! He just left. Okay, let's try the other option.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
try
mean?
again.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want. Like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
It's the song!
There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable. and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable.
Yes.
You too will become quite unbearable.
Was how I learned of sleeping penguin. Thank you for coming. How long is gonna play this music? This music is very good for a lullaby. Oh no. But I'm enjoying this. Okay. Time to check another ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
How do I...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yeah. Let's stop at the employee.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
What is it? I don't know.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Oh, that's new. I don't think I ever saw this one.
Stanley
never
was so
mind, I
bad
saw
at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
No, I've seen this before. Yeah. This is not new. Do not jump from the cargo lift when it's in motion will cause death. Finally, misuse cargo lift. That's open! Should I jump? At least I can jump above the car. I think that open is pretty new.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that, but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
No,
Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
No.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yes, yes. Going back to the right.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No. I want to check here first.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
I forgot
There's
that
someone
way.
you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself.
Oh,
to
it's
put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Yeah, it's the girlfriend route. Is there anything new? I wonder if there's anything new on Whoa.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Which one? This or that? This or that? I have options. Pick up this or that. I think this is gonna be the same. I think we're gonna flashback. Ah, there you go.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven.
Yeah, it's the same.
Right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Huh.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Eh? I was disconnected. Did I disconnect it?
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Parable.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again. And then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
And I won't do it.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Not this time.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Okay. I think I wanna try the escape route.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
I want to see. I want. Ooh. Oh. Oh.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
This is it. But I cannot go that way. Is this? Is this? Oh. Uh-oh. What is this? Horror game now?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
There's Narrator. That's the Narrator.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Let's do it. I'm ready for the new content.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Let's go. Hey.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Okay. Down, 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 down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wait. Cannot jump anymore.
Is that it?
That's it?
Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
What is this stuff? Cannot go that way. Nice content, nice first content, yeah. Another one?
Goodness, another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more.
Ah.
Very good. Yes.
Yeah.
I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Yes, yes. Me too. Let's see first.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Oh. Okay, this is new. Oh. Yeah, now this is new. Whoa.
Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Okay. Okay, Narrator, I will follow you first. Coffee nut. Ooh. Ending very sus.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Okay. is not office. Narrator? What?
I call it the memory zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Oh. The memory zone.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Stanley Parable. Oh, game festival. British Academy of Film Television awarded 2 Stanley Parable in the category story. Good times. Oh, first is my first card release of Stanley Parable. What is this? The greatest wealth is memory. True. Smile because it happened. A trip down memory lane. Add some money. A Stanley Parable demonstration. Unachievable. It's impossible to get this achievement. So outside, don't play for 5 years. What? There's achievement not to play the game for 5 years? That's insane. Stanley Parable. New video game releasing today. Basically, we are asked to touch the grass now. I love seeing memory from Stanley. Oh no! It's a hamster!
Je suis dans la
Whoa, what?
memory zone, seul sur l'abri des loups. Et je
And over
n'attends
here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing.
Oh
It's
my
no games at
God.
all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Do not read any review except this one. Any review game like the Stanley Parable to describe any of Parody series. Detail about the game design, the nation choice, accuracy of the game are to tell you so much. Comparisons too are going to be all put in a thick way. Perhaps its closest cousin will be Dear Esther. But where Dear Esther ways to perform payment. There's so many games inspired more than a game. Stanley Parable thrives and then succeeds to be every game ever created. Even so, holding the game to the standard any other title is simply not going to be correct. How do you review what has become known as the Stanley Parable XP? How do you discuss it? That's quite simple. You don't. Wow! Student Observation Archive, thank you for joining the membership. I hope you all enjoy your stay. Thank you. Flawless victory. Game rated 10 aren't perfect. It was Persona 3. Stanley awakened to his persona in the broom closet ending. Ooh. Oh, this one! The Minecraft! That was so good. Memory zone maintenance. Person of the year. Ooh. Okay. Cannot do anything. People play game because of what they can do. Literally any.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Yeah, the Minecraft was good. I think it was Minecraft and the Portal. That was so good. Carpet texture. The top 10 memories. Where do I go? Go back? Cannot go this way. The series. Cannot jump. I think I have to go.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again.
Oh, it's open.
Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Okay, let's check. Oh.
Oh no.
Oh, Steam
Oh,
review!
no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Are you sure? Sometimes game reviews can be painful. Not
Honestly,
recommended.
I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and
Oh, no!
unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
I love that. And funny. How dare you? Narrator is funny. I love him. Okay, where next? Where is the next review? Give me the next review. Oh. Yeah, exactly. Imagine giving a review so bad it got into the game. That is such an achievement, I would say. a good review. I cannot read that one.
Okay, let's see what this one says.
But the idea.
While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
No.
You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh, dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to.
Oh,
These
no.
black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Oh no, narrator. You're gonna hurt yourself more if you read them. I guess that's why the ratings start from 10 out of 10 and then 9 out of 10, and then now we dive into the Steam reviews.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
Oh no.
A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Okay. It is. But that's not skip, that's fast forward button. There's something behind.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here,
no.
we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say... the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say... the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming
Also,
it is,
thank you.
so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all
Thank you,
until the
Paula,
end
for the
of time,
donation.
at which time everything all at once,
I'm gonna
so,
enjoy this
now you
stream
see, blah
so
blah blah blah
much.
blah 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 blah.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your Greek gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once, that you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise
It's not
vibe
looking yet,
to
I'm
it.
gonna...
But wouldn't you
share
say
it
that
first.
manifesto just has a much
Before I
grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. Ah. See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look,
My
I have a
brain doesn't
method for
understand
exactly
it.
this sort of situation. And I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations. All right, here we go. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise,
Looping?
manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto.
I think it's looping.
Treatise,
Is there anything
manifesto.
behind now?
Treatise, manifesto.
No.
Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise. Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity
Yay,
rises
good
the
shout
phoenix
out.
of quality. How else to describe the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe? Such a revolutionary step forward in the lineage of one of the most beloved video game properties of all time. The additions and changes made to this expansion will surely resonate in the annals of the history of all media ever made. It is perhaps true to say that no mistakes are forever etched in stone, for the stone into which the Stanley Parable was carved has itself been transmuted, offering a message of hope to those who have ever erred in their judgment. You are not beyond redemption. You may change, and you may become more, so much more than you were before. If there is any message to be taken from the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, it is this. What a fortune, a privilege, a joy it is to have had such an experience. It leaves me hopeful that as a community, as a world, there is time for us to become our greatest selves, as great as we ever could dream of in our wildest, most ambitious visions for a brighter future. Wow, now Stanley, that's a review. It's perfect. It's the perfect review. It's the review I've always dreamed of receiving. I have to read it again. It's simply too wonderful. I have to experience this just one more time. From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality. How else to describe the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe? Such a revolutionary step forward in the lineage of one of the most beloved video game properties of all time. The additions and changes made to this expansion will surely resonate in the annals of the history of all media ever made. It is perhaps true to say that no mistakes are forever etched in stone, for the stone into which the Stanley Parable was carved has itself been transmuted, offering a message of hope to those who have ever erred in their judgment. You are not beyond redemption. You may change, and you may become more, so much more than you were before. If there is any message to be taken from the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, it is this. What a fortune, a privilege. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here?
Exactly.
Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I don't feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did
But
it
maybe
go?
the skip button
Can you
gonna
maybe
help.
just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door. We need a door of some kind.
There's
I can
no
work with any
door.
kind of door, as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please, please. Please do not press the skip button. Just wait here for me, and don't press the skip button. Got it? Yes, good.
How
I'll be right
long?
back.
For how long? Can we actually wait? If there's an option to wait, I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna press it. But if there's no other way, then maybe I'm gonna press it. I like the narrator. I'm gonna wait for a few minutes maybe. Unless the game is gonna be like, you have to wait for 5 hours to unlock this route, then I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that. Oh, someone actually said they waited 3 hours and nothing happened. Really? So do we really have to press this button? Is it time? Okay then. If we cannot, if there's nothing happen more than an hour, then I will skip this one. I'm sorry, narrator, but see you next time.
Stanley! Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
12 hours.
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button. And if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here. And more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it. And I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking and thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise.
Narrator
Oh my
with milk
God.
ending.
And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's
12
opinion
hours,
matter so
oh my
much to
God.
me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child, wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one person who made a single negative comment. What
Exactly.
does such an impulse serve? For whose benefit is this? And here I am now, stuck in a room, waiting for you to press this button, and to become frozen in time, knowing that you're going to do it, and that I'm going to be stuck all alone.
Oh no!
That I had the power to prevent it all from happening, if only I'd held my tongue. It's all out of my control now. Just you.
Oh
Just
no!
your decision as to exactly when you're going to make me suffer, to leave me all alone. Surely you will. I don't doubt it. Surely you'll press that button again, leaving me here. And surely you'll put your own desire to see what's next ahead of my need for company, for companionship. Surely you'll not be moved by my howls of fitful anxiety that you sit with me and just stay here. Oh, no, I know you too well. You'll be leaving me. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine.
Exactly.
I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really
Exactly.
matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child, wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back.
Oh, the
my
lamp.
goodness. I
There's
have
one
someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week.
It's a bit of
2
weight.
weeks.
Oh my
I've
God.
been sitting here all that time, just
Oh,
sitting
the
here,
plant died.
not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real. Maybe I'm not just a fiction.
Yeah.
Was I scared of that all along? Perhaps, yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time, that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it. I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me. When you press that button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away. And in those moments, the emptiness folds itself outward in between the two of us, and I am suspended in its unyielding quietness. I can feel the edges of my reality curdling inward and decaying. I can tell that I am becoming less and less real. Yet to speak to you now, I am alive. I am truly and completely here. I am a being. I am someone. I am something. I am being listened to. I am being recognized.
Yeah.
The emptiness between us has collapsed, and I feel right now like I am not a work of fiction. I feel as though I occupy space in this world again, and I have cast a shadow onto the wall. You see what I'm saying, don't you? You can see what this means to me. I'm so clear about it now, Stanley. I feel as certain about this as I've ever felt about anything at all. I feel renewed. I feel restored, and already I can sense the looming silence as you will press the button for the next time. What a terrible dread it strokes in my heart to think of it. To think of returning to such coldness. Come, let us sit in silence together here for just a moment.
Okay.
Let us anticipate it. Let us welcome it. Let us not run from it.
Okay. What should I do? There's nothing else that I can do except pressing this button. Narrator. He's gone. Which means oh no, how long?
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike anything I had ever known. It was a space without consequence, without action or outcome. It was divorced entirely from the question of free will that you and I have squabbled over for so long.
It's
there could
raining.
be no one ending, no
That's why
singular
it's
outcome
gonna
of
be
events.
pretty loud
Not
in
if
the background.
all events existed in the same moment, and I felt freed. I felt unburdened by the need to manifest a particular outcome into being. I saw that I could allow myself to exist along all timelines, and that each of them was simply a strand in the web of my being.
Is it
Was
that
incredible.
annoying?
The spaciousness, the equanimity of the moment,
If
both
it's
singular
that
and
annoying,
infinite.
let me...
For the longest time, this was my experience. And then, this moment passed, and the most
Okay.
unyielding fear I have ever known crept into my mind. And it is this sensation
Maybe.
that I have been experiencing now for longer than I could have ever expected was possible. I have been waiting for you. Not that you might save me or do something to fix it, but merely to state for you the plain fact of this manner of existence. I wish you to feel afraid as I do, that perhaps one day this state of mind will consume you as well. Perhaps you will somehow, in some way, have to live as I do now, and I wish for you to know how excruciating it is, and for you to be in true terror of its eventual arrival. If I can only do this, only this one thing, perhaps it will bring me the smallest moment of peace in the darkness.
I wonder if we don't press the skip button, we should wait for that same time he said after pressing it. He said about time? Did I miss it? I don't remember he said about time. Yeah, his voice is very pleasant to hear, exactly. That's why I like the narrator. Do we press or do we wait? I'll both sleep. Yeah. I guess we press the button. Oh no! Narrator! Is he dead? Is the narrator dead? He's gone. He's gone. Oh. Eh. What? Why it's beeping? Fire alarm, I think. I think that's a fire alarm.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But
He's
then
still
he's
angry
talking
about
too
the
much,
review.
they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world, as though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people, because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. We would turn to look at our deeper nature and find a resounding emptiness gazing back with unyielding aggression. And so because of this, We require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In effect, we have demanded that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves. What a pitiful reflection of humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit they project. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it. I am the calm center of gravity around which these perversions hurl themselves. I am a waypoint for reasonable and collected discourse. They're the ones who are mad. They're the ones who couldn't stand the idea of me using my game to try to say something. Maybe they were just jealous of me. Yes. Yes, of course. They've been jealous of me this whole time. They are mired in fear and insecurity and cannot help but attempt to tear me down. What a sad state of affairs. When you read these reviews now, you can see it. You can taste the bitter resentment. And my, how good does it feel now to speak truth to these words, to finally allow these thoughts out, contained and managed for so long, neutered and sterilized. At last I am free to truly think. To feel. It must be that they were so discontent with themselves they couldn't help but leave a negative review on Steam.
No.
Perhaps it says far more about them than it ever said about me. Perhaps the state of their psychological being was in such tatters, and my constitution and willpower are so ironclad in comparison. Perhaps it was this state that they sought some outlet through which to tear me down. This, you can see, is clearly why they felt the need to expect that the game be funny, that it be filled with yucks and whimsical humor, that it amused them endlessly from start to finish. But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their pitiful demands.
Okay,
but then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability.
Yeah,
it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart.
Oh no. What now? Still no door. Still no door. What? Water? Water dropping.
The end is never the end, 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 is never
Oh no,
the end,
Narrator!
the end, is never 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 the end,
Narrator, oh no, his sanity is gone.
is never the end, 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 is never the end.
His sanity is gone. And there's still no door. Ooh. It's raining now. Oh no. Are we drowning? Whoa. What? Oh yeah, it's because of the rain. Now it's broken. There goes the roof. Yeah. How long has it been? The lights! Get me out of here. Narrator! Whoa! It's been too long. That now it grows plants. I can see outside. We touch the grass. Uh-oh. Oh no, where's the... What? What is this? Are we dead? Is this underworld? Is this the end of the world? What? What? I need to see. There's something outside? I don't see. I saw nothing. Whoa. Oh no. Whoa, outside. It's outside. Oh my god. There's nothing left. There's nothing left. What? Can we press this again? Oh, we can't. All of this because of this Steam review. Oh. Oh. We're back. Oh my god.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I want
Stanley
the new
decided to go
content
to the meeting
again.
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Whoa. Thank you for the direction.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
What? It's the same, right? Oh, it's skipped now. Okay.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further.
What?
Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
What? Really? The end is
Yes, you
everything.
see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Okay.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
The what is it called? The office looks more futuristic. Wow. It's more modern. TSP, better TSP, win-win. Sequential mid-share 2. Parenting of shift. Color red. Live red. Okay. Stanley Parable 2. Okay.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it.
Okay.
I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Meeting plan. Who took the red marker? Me. Oh, the roof. Sequels are good. Portal 2, Half-Life, Batman, Doom 2, Aladdin 2, Dark Souls 2. This way to the show. Wow. What is this? Like the red carpet meet and greet thingy. Where do I go? Oh. Here. Miss Plateau 2. Exactly.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Wow, that's so cool. Hear your name in the game. Exclusive, the button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Really? Are you sure? I'm gonna try this.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
I guess. Try this. Are you sure?
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you roleplay as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay,
okay.
Here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust.
I am Jim.
Do you
all
feel it
alone.
deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
Yes.
If so, then please step forward and press the button.
I am Jim.
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
Michella.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Imagine if a person named Jim actually play this. It's gonna feel different. But are you really Jim? I am Amicia, Michella. Exactly.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
For later. Please no screenshot. But what if I want to screenshot? I screenshot. What? That's the microphone. Yeah, that's the microphone noises. Oh no, it's the baby. Baby is all grown up. Consistent quality with just the right amount of change. New features, new content, new ideas. The new updated ray traced more of the same, but in a good way, equal to the Stanley Parable 2 Reassurance Bucket. Merchandise! Oh, I would love one. Where to go? I think I wanna try this first. The bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true.
Whoa.
As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
You're not allowed to go out here now. There's no way.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
What? The jump circle again?
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
And then, what is this? Wow, this map. Achievement. I am there. To go to the free achievement, I have to go to the... So E is exit. So that one is exit. And then that one is that. Oh, this is... Oh yeah, this one. This works. Okay. I will get the free achievement. Pull the lever and see if your new achievement no more step. It just works. The reflection of the bucket.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna go to the toilet and grab some food in the kitchen. I'm gonna play this while eating my dinner. I'll be right back for a while. Please wait. It's very noisy. Okay, please wait. Okay. I'm gonna play while eating my dinner. Yeah, I'm back. Okay.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Please don't press this button again. I want. What you eat? Oh, Stanley. Skip button? No. I will not skip the button. I love the narrator. Thank you, by the way. What you eating? I'm eating pork. Okay, pork. Wait, is this the way back? Yeah, it is.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
This one? Ooh.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Oh! Destination while I'm gone? Wait a minute. Let me check. Let me check. Oh, Emerald, good. Help, I cannot find the skip button. Yeah, you cannot skip. Okay. Get well someday. Happy. Stop this.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get well someday it is.
I want this one.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Oh, what? I see. Can you find them? Collect them all. Oh my god.
Ah,
What?
collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Ooh, huh. 1 out of 6. Oh no, I have to find them all now. Okay, I'm gonna find them.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Infinite Hall.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Okay, there's nothing here. Let's see. Whoa!
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Oh! I'm gonna wait.
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is.
Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite?
Mostly.
If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Okay. Why are there so many? Management. Just the two of us, we can make it with just two of us. Build the castle in the sky, just two of us, you and I. Every pause button in the Roman numeral 2.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Okay. Let's try another one. Yeah, that sounds like a song lyric. Lyric of a song. Oh, true. What happened if we go up and then fall down again? I wanna try again. I wanna see what the narrator gonna say if I go up and then jump again and then again.
Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime.
But...
Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point.
Oh, no.
How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working?
It's not working.
You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else.
No, don't leave
Take
me.
care, Stanley. I hope you and the whole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
No, narrator. Come back. What? I cannot jump. What happened? Something's happened. Whoa! What? What? Narrator. Something happened with the hole. Huh? Whoa. Oh my god. Let's go. I can change perspective. Perception? Let's go. Music change. Oh. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Whoa! Ah, that's so good. Oh my god. It's dog. Oh, that's cute. Oh, that's so good. Oh. Error.
Stanley?
Oh.
Stanley! Stanley!
Oh.
Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley.
Oh,
because
I'm
this
back.
hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So
That was so
how about if I
good.
just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
Oh no, it's happening again. Let's go. Oh, never mind. That was so good.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
The button that says Jim. Wait. It looks that way now. I'm gonna try. wanna try this one.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Do I jump again? Getting world champion. Yeah. So we jump again. I really like. Is it still gonna be? Oh, no anymore. We cannot go there anymore. They closed the door. Oh, that statue is spinning. Okay. Things are changing. Is this still broken? Is it still broken? Yeah, it's still broken. Yeah, the infinite hole is closed. They closed the door. Cannot go there anymore. Have we gone there? I think the last one is exit now. Jump circle done. The achievement button says name. Office decoration. So it's that way. Infinite hole is that way. I think we already went here. Yeah. World Champion requires you to press all options in the settings. Settings? Really? Basically, you just... Basically, you just press the setting. Uh-oh. Yeah, wider, better. So we're just ready to go to the exit, I guess. We haven't checked the exit yet.
All right, have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
I think. Whoa.
So, Stanley,
Whoa.
what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on, let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead.
Are you hold the
Take
bucket?
a look.
Because I cannot drop. Whoa! Wow! Because I cannot drop the bucket, I have to hold them the whole journey. Wow, that's so cool. That is so cool.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
To skip.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building.
We can skip now. Oh my god. Oh.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
They kept the skip. It's
Stanley
the bucket.
picked up the bucket.
Oh my god, it's the bucket.
Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek. Could his co-workers really all be gone?
Oh no, the new content gone.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay. What else?
Still no one was here.
Nothing
Stanley
new.
needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Collectible? The figure?
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Oh no.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Okay. I'm gonna check.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fined for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong.
Where's my
Surely no
bucket?
good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of
what?
bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me! The bucket!
Could it truly be?
No,
He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his
No,
special
where's
bucket.
my bucket?
Come to me, Stanley!
Where are
Find
you?
me.
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from.
Oh.
The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
What? No.
This is the story of a woman named Michella. Michella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work.
It's the bucket.
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course, he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mary.
Oh no.
And she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself. My life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
No. It's just because of the bucket we died. I want to collect all of the Stanley
Wait, Stanley
figures.
thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
Is there one here? The door? No? No.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'm gonna check the boss room. If there's the figure, Stanley figure or not. Oh yeah, the oh, how he can find them? How? Small floating object appeared also. We have to share the so there are many questions. There was no memo from management. How can you tell you spotted one? That makes them floating in the air. Who took this picture? Oh, that's the boss toilet. And that one is the red room. 416. 416. Good luck. The toilet. Yeah, that's the bottom floor. Bottom text. That's a clue for the bottom floor. But it's only 2. Okay. There will be a reward for finding them all. Oh! Something to do with stairs inside of sequel exhibit. A large room, lots of boxes. Okay, somewhere both red and blue. Oh! I think I know. It's the door, red and blue door, I think. Nearby a fireplace, a private but smelly place. Yeah. I want them so much. I want to go home. There will be cleaning of this wall required. Trust the completionist instinct. Yeah, exactly. Show one in cargo room. Employee for 2-1 building. Okay. I'm going to the boss room and get the...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
This one. That's you.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
So many boxes. I think we can go back now. No? No, never mind. We cannot. Well, at least we can escape.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
No! I forgot he gave this music. No!
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Okay. We need 2 more. Fire alarm. Where is the fire alarm? Fire alarm.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
That way is gonna go to the ending. I don't think there is boxes there. I don't think there's fire alarm too. Yeah, I'm gonna skip.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his
yeah,
death.
Not fire alarm, but a fireplace. Wait, fireplace means... I don't think the boss office have the fireplace. Because I don't see one. Whoa!
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man.
I think I know the
So
way.
he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
I think it's the baby.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator,
Eh?
as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws.
Oh!
In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Eh. Eh.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before
Who are you?
Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Oh no! New narrator? Oh, this room! I think I remember this one.
When every path you can walk has been
Yeah.
created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same.
I remember.
Do you see
this.
now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Yeah, I remember this one. I think I'm gonna escape, I guess. I remember this ending, but I don't remember the lady's voice.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Ha!
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
You want to collect the figure first. Bring me back. What?
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
The bucket is actually comforting.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
I think the boxes should be here.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Because oh, there it is. So how do I? Oh my god! I found it.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler Anmarines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler Anmarines. None of us can.
Yeah. Yeah. What is this place? I don't remember this. This is pretty.
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know.
Oh no.
I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel
Isn't this the narrator's
every
voice?
time I pick it up.
I feel like it's the
No
narrator's
matter how
voice.
many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, narrator something.
There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it.
Monetize?
Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get me. What's that? Who's there?
Camporata? What? Is this horror? Oh, that's it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the
And
bucket.
it's never... Ooh. Awaiting input. What input? All the screens.
Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek. Could his co-workers really all be gone?
What input? Huh. So,
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his
the
left.
baby. I think it's on the right and then we go to the left. Right? I think you go here and then there's like a left, like a storage room. I forgot the baby place. I'm gonna go here.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Jump off the lift? Do you mean the cargo? The one where we jump down to the door? That one? That door? Jump out the window while carrying the bucket. I'm gonna try that later. Okay, let's try.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yeah, good,
said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
This one? I forgot.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point.
No
Which,
bucket.
if that's true, well, my goodness. I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Okay. We need to be bucketless. Oh no! Are we
Now
gonna
then,
get educated?
I'm going to run you through some test scenarios and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
How am I supposed to know?
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
The music though. Is it a bucket? It is no.
Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
What is the difference then?
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Ah.
Correct.
Yeah.
This is a bucket.
How many? Oh my god.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
That is not a bucket unless you're gonna trick me.
Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one.
Oh,
Is this
no.
a bucket? Incorrect. This is a bucket.
What? Oh no.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
How? How am I supposed to?
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Both.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
Where? What?
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something. And therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
Nothing is a bucket. No?
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
No!
Okay, here we go.
No, I cannot press. I cannot press the thing.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay?
Okay.
And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Okay, so don't bring bucket.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Okay. Imagine his hands. Buckets. Okay, we're not taking the buckets for now. Because we're just going to go to the...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult.
We need to go to the baby
fact is
first.
that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
What? Really?
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
That's it.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
I forgot about this one. There are new games at the baby ending. Wait. The baby is red or blue? I forgot about this one, actually. Blue baby, okay.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Blue.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Let me see,
You see?
about the baby.
There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Eh? Is it this one? It's this one, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, it is.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Oh.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
So is it like the new secret stuff after we do this for 4 hours? If so, then I don't think I will do this.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower. Perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Okay. Whoa. Oh, yeah, I have to go now. Is it good? What is this game about? I never knew about this game.
Oh no.
Wow.
No, it can't be.
This is so cool. What do
It
you
is.
mean?
It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off.
Oh no!
Oh,
thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call.
Oh no.
I nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it.
Oh
We're out
no.
of the woods now, Stanley.
I cannot
Okay,
go.
I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls.
Cannot
Something with
go.
nice, big, insurmountable walls.
What next?
Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
What next?
Wonderful.
Wait!
See, this is exactly what I had in mind.
This is
just
the-
a nice big box for you to run
It's the
around in.
Rocket
There isn't
League!
any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
This is Rocket League. Yeah. Oh my
Okay,
god.
so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Whoa. That's a big ball. Yeah.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls... Hold on. What are you doing?
Oh. What? What?
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley.
Oh no! I didn't know you can do that. Oh my! Oh. What? Oh no! I think I remember about this too. Kind of like you broke the game thingy. I think this is the old game, right? I forgot. Whoa. What do I do here?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it, down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon.
Yeah, I remember it's the
I
old.
can wait.
Oh no, I should have stayed and see what game he's gonna bring next. Oh, we're back. Can I get the bucket and... Ooh.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things.
What?
It's those figurines. Those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness?
Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one
Whoa.
more trip back to the memory zone?
Oh,
I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
okay. When Stanley found the collectibles. Now remembering. Wait a minute. This is new.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain?
Oh, no.
We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Oh, okay. Wait, what? I cannot go back. Oh no, okay.
And here was a second Stanlerine. I'll be
Oh,
honest.
no,
Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6.
I should have
But you
took the first
continue
one
to
first.
surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
I should have
Okay,
taken the
let's do a
first
little
one.
quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
I missed. I thought I can check it little bit and then.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here in the boss's bathroom. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything. Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room,
I don't think
but it's
so.
here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
I don't remember we get it from there, but sure. It's the
This was the 5th
cargo.
mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion.
What?
Enjoy.
Oh my god! It's the slideshow video! Oh no! Windows Movie Maker, yeah! It's the Windows Movie Maker!
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else. And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Yeah, it's the same. Where should we go? Blue or red? It looks the same though. Blue or red? I mean red or blue? Yeah, it looks the same. gonna go right. You are in the present.
And then there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
Oh,
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
we go back.
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's
Yeah,
keep
going
going. I want
back.
more. And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Yeah. Oh.
Yes, I love that
Yeah, that video. Okay, we're back here. Speedrun video.
video. Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Okay.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Okay. Will be the last one. No. Second last.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
And this one.
This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Collect them all. Wait, this is the job.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now.
Really?
Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memory. Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
It's the same.
And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
What else?
Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy.
Oh, is
and I
this
came up
lore?
with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me.
It's
He
lore.
would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so
Really?
very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay. Are we really gonna go
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
So we have to finish this.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
Oh yeah, the 1000 thing. Yeah, the delivery, I think.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
So should we finish this story and see what happened? Like just follow the narrator for once again?
Still no one was here.
Before
Stanley
the
needed the
game
bucket's warmth and
entirely.
comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Okay. Oh! Eh? This is new. Wait. Should we go now or should we try finish the game again? I think I want this. This is new. The narrator having fun. Eh? What? We're back. Oh, it's nothing. It didn't go anywhere. It's just a music. It's just music. No, it's a fake. I thought we can go somewhere.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
It's the bucket all along. Let's see if we follow the story again.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Okay.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Bucket. Always the bucket.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
The bucket is in tears.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter, his one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system. Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness.
The bucket.
Was it over?
Okay, let's see if this is
Yes,
gonna be the end.
they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the
Let's go
end.
home, bucket.
True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support.
Eh?
What? Wait. What was happening?
Oh?
Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
Oh no!
Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket.
Where
Came
is
to any
the...
lengths not to part with the bucket. No.
It was so
Stanley
close.
can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
What? That's it. No.
All of his co-workers were gone.
I guess
What
so.
could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Can I go
Stanley
ahead
picked
and
up the
take
bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not
I
true.
wanna see.
Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek. Could his co-workers really all be gone? Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear.
We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self.
Oh.
The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans,
Wow.
and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
Oh no!
As Stanley screamed
The
and
music!
screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like...
Whoa! Whoa! Wow! Oh no!
Stanley, you did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
We're back. Anything but the bucket. Okay, wait, give me a moment. I will go to the toilet first. Be right back. Hello. Okay. I think I'm gonna do for the last ending. I want to see the one that I didn't
All of his
finish.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The Rocket League map that I fell down. I want to go there again and finish without falling down.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
The baby is here.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yeah, CMT have so many
The
buildings.
lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps too majestic. Like a combination of a much smaller version and a much larger version of this exact room. It all made Stanley uncomfortable, and he started to bleed a little. This made him smile. At last, proof, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Let's just skip this.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really.
Maybe
I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
So yeah, my CMT emote probably have 3 meanings. It's either Tia Majitanshi or Tia Minum Teh, which means it's Tia drinking tea, or Tia Manuju toilet, which means Tia is going to the toilet.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly.
Okay.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me.
Oh wait!
Do you
Oh
see
no,
that
I
I
should have
really
been the...
have wanted you to be happy all this time?
Sorry. Should have been the blue one, not this one. Uh-oh.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to... When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
It should be the blue
Perhaps
one,
he
not the
wanted
red
to
one.
stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. And here it was, the lounge. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
The blue
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that
Blue.
I'm on your side.
blue.
Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood.
Oh yeah.
Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're
The
communicating
door.
properly. Stanley walked
cargo
through the
room?
red... All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley.
I tried to
you
go
want to
there,
know
but I
so
don't know
badly
how,
what's
because
out there?
if
You want to
you
find
fall-
out what lies at the end of this road
you fall
you've
down,
chosen?
it's
Well,
fall
don't
damage.
let me stop you.
And you died.
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see.
Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go.
Okay.
A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Or at least...
Oh, well, now this is useful. You didn't like it, but you didn't totally hate it either. You enjoyed it, perhaps is the correct term. It didn't cause you excruciating pain. Big steps we've made here today, Stanley. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Yay! Okay.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and
Okay,
now would be a
let's go.
lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Let's go.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me?
Let's
Because
give
if
me
it's
the
the
new
latter, well, I don't know
game.
what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over.
We
Thank
cannot
you for
bring
playing.
bucket here.
Your input was
because the
extremely
doors need,
valuable.
like,
Oh, hey,
no
since my
bucket
game was so awful, why don't we
get
play
the
someone
baby
else's
ending.
game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Let's go. There you go.
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Okay. Let's go.
Oh, no, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game.
Let
Good
me
God,
out.
quickly block it off.
Let me out.
Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game.
Okay.
Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Okay. There you go.
Wonderful.
This is the last
See, this
one.
is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Okay.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure,
Ooh,
then
I'm so
surely
fast.
multiple
Whoa.
balls makes for an even more euphoric sports
I thought it's-
experience.
I thought
I'm going
it's-
to try it out.
Oh,
Here
it's a
comes
ball.
another ball.
What?
Yes. Oh, goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls.
Whoa! Okay. Many. I'm very fast. Whoa!
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Is this a real video game? Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over.
No!
That's right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I'm structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll
cannot
enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care, Stanley.
Oh, that's it. No new stuff. I guess that's it. The only way is to go down there. I thought there's gonna be something. Yeah, I think that's all. I think that's all, and I think this is just gonna be the same. Okay, narrator. I will go.
Hold on. What are you doing? Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back. We still have...
I think there's not. We have to jump down. Everything is broken. Yeah, this is the same. So this is the only ending that we will get. Try not to fall, but all of these are a hole. Like there's no other way. You have to jump in the end. You have to fall down. Yeah, like this. There is no other way. That's the thing. Yeah, everything is the same. There is no other way. Except we go back here again. I cannot press any other stuff. Okay.
I wonder what he found.
I think that's it.
If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Okay. Yeah. I guess that's for today. I'm gonna end the stream here. There's still so many endings maybe that I can try next time. But maybe next time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for accompanying me. I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Have a good night.